right, welcome to our podcast tonight. Tonight we are going over Gears of War 4 pre-release. I am Game Guru, and join with me are our co-host Ninjiga and Last Hero.
Hey.
As is with all of these podcasts, we're trying to discuss if Gears of War 4 is eSports worthy. And this one is a little bit more unprecedented because it has not even been released. The only reason why this actually came to our attention is because Microsoft has thrown up a $1 million prize pool for Gears of War 4 as a... Is there a tournament upon game release?
I think it was a tournament, yeah, on game release. It's one of those like initial. Here's $1 million. Let's see what we can do with it.
That's nuts.
That is madness. I'm actually trying to see if I can find some news on that one. All right. So we're going to go through three big factors that we can discuss to see if this actually meets our requirements. The first and biggest, most important one is what we call a mastery curve. Just as a quick rundown, normally, games with a relatively low skill floor, a decent learning curve, and a high skill ceiling, a mastery ceiling, usually hits a spot. So, does Gears of War 4, or let's just say even Gears of War in general, tie in well with that? Thoughts?
Yeah, so since obviously we haven't been able to play Gears of War 4, I can only rely on the first, second, and third, and all the other games that followed. On my opinion, I think Gears of War from a noob perspective, so from a skill floor perspective, highly approachable. I mean, it's like any other shooter you play. It's a little more, what's the word? Arcadey, I guess. Yeah, I think is the word I want to look for. Is all your guys are basically giant damage soaks, and your bullets don't seem to do any damage. But at the end of the day, it's a shooter. That shares a lot of commonalities with something like CS:GO. I think the skill floor of that is low enough for most people to approach. Now, skill ceiling, I'm going to say Gears of War has actually not the highest skill ceiling, but it's decent enough for you to have a pretty competitive game. I mean, I'm going to say it's not super high in terms of the skill ceiling only because of what I feel is, I don't know, inherent in shooters in general. At the end of the day, it's a Twitch type of game, right? You point, you click, you shoot.
I like that.
Hey, that's what it is.
Hey, fair comment.
Right?
Fair comment.
I like that.
I think shooters in general are the skill in a shooter is Twitch, and like the Twitch skill in being able to react quickly. And sadly, I think Gears of War, because of the arcadiness of it, doesn't have that. It's not a Twitch shooter, right?
No, I do agree with that. I definitely agree with that factor.
It's not a full Twitch shooter, so I think it's actually lacking that aspect, and I think it's actually lacking, some skill.
Oh, I like that. So I do agree. It is definitely not a Twitch shooter. I don't even think it falls in that category of shooter.
No, I think it falls under tactical shooter.
Definitely does not fall under the category of shooter. If you're thinking about your traditional CODs and CS:GO, definitely, totally. I'm gonna go for. It's a totally different game. Number one, it's a third-person shooter, so the fact you don't even, it's not even, you can't even Twitch factor. You see your guy there. It's not like it's a first-person shooter where you can Twitch. The skill involved, I will say, playing both games in terms of Gears of War is not so much Twitch as you mentioned before, but it is definitely more of a it's more tactical and strategy-based shooter than it is an actual mechanics and Twitch factor like most traditional shooters. So I think that's where the skill comes in. I am a Gears of War fan, so I may seem a little biased. I sucked at the traditional shooters because my Twitch sucks. However, this game, there is a skill factor in terms of where it is easy enough for anyone to go and pick up and play, not a problem. But when you actually go and play like people who are obviously better, there is a noticeable skill difference to the point where I feel like there could be a pro level and a casual level for sure. Guaranteed for sure. And the other thing that I think this is a little bit more where the skill comes in is actually it is more team based. I feel like, anyways, I feel like it's more team based than your other traditional your other traditional first person shooters like COD and and CS:GO.
It's because you haven't played them competitively.
Yeah, you've seen the videos. We've seen the
Team-based.
videos.
I've seen the videos. I've seen, and you're right. Maybe I don't understand what the is going on because I feel like that Twitch factor. Some guy can just go off and go and Twitch 3 times and and then he just and he kills like 5 guys in a row and
Yeah,
Rambo
the
heroes.
1v4s, the 1v3s are so much more.
I feel like, but
In CS:GO it happens, right?
But in Gears that cannot happen. There's no way you can pop off like 3 guys in 3 shots. There's no way.
Listen,
It's less
let's say
likely in
something
Gears.
about the game then. Like you said it yourself that okay, I was never good enough for CS:GO, but I liked Gears of War. Well, what the hell, right?
Because I don't like walking and like all of a sudden I get shot from like nowhere and I get one shot killed by
Random headshot.
Well, that's skill.
That's like
Is it really though?
That's skill.
so.
Come on.
So in Gears of War, I will tell you, if you're able to kill someone, then you really deserve that kill because it's not a one-shot kill. So there's no such thing as luck in Gears of War in doing that. You really have to I mean, obviously there's that one-off times where like maybe a lucky shot, a lucky shotgun in the front of the face. But in terms of like killing someone, like you said, and they're regenerating health, you cannot pop off guys really right away unless you're a sniper. It really takes a lot to kill someone. It really does. So when you get that kill, you deserve it. You 100% deserve that kill.
No, I mean, you're basically being very forgiving to the person who's making the mistake. That's what I'm hearing right here.
No, okay. All right, I'll interject with this one because I do kind of agree with the most part with Ninja just because I'm also a diehard fan of Gears. I think Gears brought out a really competitive part of me. I was never really much of a competitive gamer up until Gears came out, to be honest. Yes, it is a tactical shooter, and that's what completely separates it from games like CS:GO or your arena shooters like TF. With tactical shooters, it is definitely the least Twitch important, Twitch heavy, because you can get away with being forgiving. Oh crap, you missed a shot? That's fine. Where I feel the skill comes in from tactical shooters is that you're thinking a few steps ahead in the fight. So the moment I see my opponent come up to me, I'm not thinking, oh, boom, I could pop him off on my first shot and keep moving. Whereas in CS:GO or arena shooters, that is almost always the case. Like 9 out of 10 moments you run into your opponent, it's whoever sees who first shot usually gets that win, and you just keep moving forward. With Gears of War, it's like 2 out of 10 times, and that's only if you're walking around with like a sniper rifle, you're up in some guy's face with a shotgun.
All right. Now I gotta ask: is that because that we basically sucked at the game? Like,
With Gears?
Because I wanna think of it this way: if you watch any of the games for Gears as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people will try to pick up the one-shot weapons, or they'll try to kill you with the shotgun. Why? Because it kills you in one shot.
Because it kills you quickly, yes. So
exactly.
So with the shotgun though, you need to get up close. That's one thing. So what I mean is with the shotgun, in order for me to get that one shot, I have a lot of time to actually think about what I'm gonna do before you come up to me. With sniper rifles and the other one-shot weapons, okay, I get it. That's where it feels more like a shooter to me, which is why I probably wasn't the biggest fan of Gears 2 and 3 and Judgment.
Yeah, and that's the way they're moving, though, right?
A little bit. So I did play the Gears 4 beta. It felt closer to Gears 3.
Yeah.
But it did pace a little bit more like Gears 1 because they did get rid of some of the longer range weapons.
Yeah.
For example, like sniper rifle, you really need to get that headshot. I think in the beta that I played, there was really only one weapon I didn't like because it felt like such a cheesy one-shot kill.
Well, exactly. Yeah. They exist for a reason, right?
It does exist for a reason. And again, I have a feeling this is just to appease some of the shooter fans. Because Gears 1, honestly, the only weapon you're probably going to one-shot kill someone with is probably going to be the shotgun most of the time. Yeah, there was a torque bow, but not that many people could get that off. Sniper rifle, same thing. Getting that one headshot.
All your good players will be using those weapons, though.
Yeah, they'll definitely try to fight for it.
Yep. But you don't get them. Like, you have to fight for them.
Yeah, you have to fight for them. They become points of interest, right? Which
okay, I'm not denying. Like I said, I'm not denying that Gears is not esports worthy. I think it is based off for this one factor at least.
You're just saying it's less skill.
Yes, I think the skill ceiling is less than something like CS:GO.
I will definitely agree that on the Twitch factor, it is definitely less. Like I could suck at shooting people and still be pretty decent at Gears because I could alter my strategy and win my games in other ways. Like I could two-piece a person or something like that.
I think it's a different skill ceiling.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
that's what I wanted to get into. I feel like when you want to learn how to play Gears well, you're not learning how to be accurate. You're learning more how to coordinate as a team, and you're also learning how to adapt to the situation as it comes upon you.
Yeah, I feel like movement in Gears of War is so crucial.
Yeah,
more
especially
than
with the wall bounces and everything.
yeah, more than more than CS:GO. I feel like they just camp that same spot over and over again, and they just wait for someone to make the first mistake, and then they're gonna one shot pop you guys. I mean, that's what I'm watching in the spectator mode. You just can't you just kind of can't this place, and and you kind of hold this place. But but again, I feel like the skill sets used to play professional CS:GO are different than the skill sets used to play Gears of War.
Yeah, and I agree.
And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying it's different. Just like
No, I'm saying one's better than the other.
I'm saying one's better than the other as well too. I'm all for tactical shooters, man. I'm all for tactical
I'm just saying it's different. I'm just saying it's a different skill set that you need to, which is why a lot of people who are pro CS:GO players, they probably won't like that Gears of War kind of game.
And you know what?
Then vice versa, same thing too.
This is true for a lot of shooters. A lot of people who play COD they don't like Gears of War.
Yeah, they probably won't like.
Don't forget
it's not
COD.
forgiving.
COD's not even. You know what? COD's even lower on this scale.
Actually, I would compare the COD to CS:GO. If you got rid of all the UAVs and all that shit, I think you'd actually get a very similar game to CS:GO.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have UAVs and you have.
Oh no, I know, and that's why
and
COD to me is like super noob friendly because of UAVs.
That's why you cannot compare COD even.
Yeah, not as it is.
But at the core, the skill sets used to play COD is the same skills. It's the same. It's the same twitch factor. It's the same thing as you are using for CS:GO.
I agree. Minus the UAV parts. They're both twitch shooters.
Yeah, that's
the twitch shooters.
The core design.
The twitch shooting's the same, but it's what's different is everything else they added to COD.
No,
that's why the skill ceiling is low for that game. So low.
Let's throw COD out. Fuck COD. COD can go suck a D. All right. But nonetheless, Gears of War, it does have it does meet the mastery curve, and this is why Gears of War is hitting this esports scene pretty well. I do believe the Ultimate Edition actually garnered quite a few views on Twitch when they did one of their first tournaments.
Yeah, and I also saw that that inaugural league they actually had, where they actually had like how League of Legends has a league, and they were playing for league. And I remember watching the playoffs, so they did have an inaugural league, which I actually watched.
Have that
game.
Is that supported by? Is that like a Microsoft thing?
No, I don't think it's a Microsoft thing. I forgot who actually supported it, but they had a league where there was like 8 teams or 10 teams, I think, and then they played like I don't know how long the season was, and then they had like playoffs and everything, just like League of Legends did. And it was pretty cool. It was actually pretty fun. I like watching it. And you can see like there is a definitely different level between like a casual player, and someone who's at the pro level.
Okay, fair enough. That goes with the mastery curve we got going.
Yep, it does. And also team. I feel like there's a more team component to Gears as well, which comes into the skill factor too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I don't know. Again, I don't play either game at a pro level, but even just playing at a casual level, I do feel like tactical shooters or Gears of War has a bit more emphasis on teamwork. It's not that CS:GO doesn't have teamwork, but because Twitch games just go so much faster, that one samurai in CS:GO can just 1v6 them or whatever the hell the team count is.
Yeah, I feel like the rewarding for good team play is maybe a little bit more evident in Gears than it is in CS:GO.
Personally, I don't think. Here's the thing: I don't think the team play is as crazy as you guys make it. I think what's happening here is because of the fact that you could get one-shotted or headshotted in CS:GO versus Gears of War. What's happening is basically you're condensing the time frame for teamwork to be relevant.
That's true. No,
right?
That is not true.
It's not that one's teamwork is more per se than like one game has more teamwork than the other game. It's just that it's condensed in a smaller time frame because the gunfights are shorter.
No, okay, and that's where I bring in the adaptability. Because there is more time in a game like Gears of War, it gives you more options to actually think about your strategy in the moment of the fight. Whereas in CS:GO, it's kind of like, once it goes down, it goes down. And like you said, because of how high the damage is in CS:GO, the gunfight is so much more condensed. So your decisions are definitely more decisive in CS:GO, whereas in Gears of War, yes, you could say it's forgiving, but I also see that as an opportunity for greater opportunity in. Let me rephrase that. I see that as an opportunity for Gears of War to have a little bit more dynamic play when it comes to adapting to the moment.
Just think about it for a moment. Can you imagine playing any other game where your health regenerates? How stupid would it be
So,
if I'm playing
so,
Street Fighter and I sit in a freaking corner blocking and my health goes back to full?
so,
Stupid.
so which is
Right?
why for Gears of War in comparison to CS:GO, you're right, and that factor, and what that promotes is you really have to rely on your team play more so because you're right. Even if I'm better than you, let's just say in terms of skill wise, and I've shot you more times than you shot me because I'm better than you, and you happen to be able to run away and regen your life. Well, what that means nothing.
The
So
hunt is
meaning-
on, is what it means. You're,
Right,
you're hunting that motherfucker down.
But then that just means that I have to. But I have to. I can't just rely on myself. I really have to rely on good team play in order for me to successfully beat this team. Because I can't just be going around running around popping guys off one shot and onto the next one, on the next one. So you're right. Even though it's condensed to like CS:GO is just that one. Like when shit goes down, it's bang bang bang, it's done. Whereas in Gears of War, I feel like you do have to be a little more tactical because you can't pop off guys in one. But so it's more like we do have to you have to rely so much heavily on team play more so to get those kills.
Yeah, I feel like the formation, trying to actually get the flank on your opponents, again, it has a little bit more emphasis than CS:GO tends to do.
Yeah, I think
Not that the strategy doesn't exist in CS:GO, but again, because people die so quickly in CS:GO, you almost don't get to see it. You almost don't get to see how beautiful that flank actually ends up looking. But either way, I think the point's clear. Pretty good mastery curve. The skill sets are definitely varied between your other shooters. But nonetheless, this is probably the first tactical shooter we're seeing played at the esport level. At least to my thoughts anyways. I know Uncharted 4 is trying to get into the scene. I don't know what we would consider the Ubisoft game. Rainbow Siege? Rainbow Six?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even sure that's tactical. I feel like that's more of a Twitch shooter with more tactical elements.
Yeah.
Alright. Second factor is marketing. This is a factor where we believe it makes it makes a game esport worthy if the marketing of this game is just well done. It gives the ability for this game to spread to larger audiences. Now, what are the factors that actually determine this that make Gears of War 4 worthy? And off the bat, I guess we could all easily say and agree to this: Microsoft. And a $1 million prize pool. And the fact that this game already has 4 iterations before it. So it's got a pretty well supported fan base, I would like to think.
I think Microsoft is going to be the big X factor for this longevity. I mean, every single big esports has had huge support from their developers in some shape or form.
Yep.
To continue being, an esport, right? You got to think of it this way too. You need just the support of your developer, not only just, for something like a prize pool, but to implement changes if they're needed, or patches, or, changing up how the game is played, or, nerfing weapons that are overpowered. At the end of the day, you need the company to support you.
That's true.
And even from a business standpoint, if you look at it, you need a company that has deep pockets in order for to be able to accommodate whatever resources you need to make modifications, adaptations, or even just put your game out there. Whether it be advertising or whatnot. You need a company with big pockets, and you don't get bigger than Microsoft.
Yeah. So I guess it's this is unquestionable. It's pretty straightforward. Gears of War has that support, hands down.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it has it right now. I mean,
Yep.
It has to maintain it. This can't be a one and done thing.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
for sure.
I
And I
would
just want to
agree.
add one more thing in terms of marketing. They already have a fan base already, so I think they just need that backing and that support from a company like Microsoft to just
Yeah.
get that extra step to like literally just blow up.
Yeah.
I think it needs it. I still think it's a big X factor. I think Microsoft needs to really, really, go all in on this.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're gonna make Gears of War your esports game, it probably isn't. I mean, Microsoft probably has their hands in everything, but if you're gonna try to make Gears of War, something special, right, for Xbox,
Yep.
you have to keep it going.
Yeah.
You have to be the driving force behind it.
Yeah, this has to show up on your dashboard. Every time I log in, I gotta see, oh man, another Gears of War tournament.
Yep, and I think and I think they have the game to do it with Gears of War. They, like I said, we mentioned with all the other factors.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just have to push it. Whether it takes money or marketing, whatever it takes. I think they have the resources to do it.
Yeah. I think the other last factor is Gears 4. I do believe from even a developer perspective, they're really emphasizing esports. I think after UE and even Gears, Judgment, how they saw players treat UE versus Judgment, they realized, oh wow, UE was really the go-to esport of all the Gears. So let's try to focus on that. All right. And the final factor, and this is actually pretty most interesting. As is with all sports, is it a good spectator sport or is it a good spectator esport? Because obviously at the end of the day, what drives esports past the pros are the fans and the people watching this game. So is Gears of War 4 an esport spectator friendly game?
I think it's amazing. I disagree with you guys with the skill factor because I think Gears is not even half the skill of CS:GO. But regardless, I think the spectator aspect of this, and this is where what you guys were talking about with the damage soaking abilities and all that. I think this is where it comes into play. All right, it makes watching this game fun. All right, I think anybody watching Gears of War, when they see someone survive, some crazy shots, or does something crazy and turns a 1-on-4 to basically winning the game or something. I think Gears does this really, really well. It has so much. I don't know. It has so much like TSN turning points type of moments.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that it makes this game such a delight to watch from a spectator perspective. I also think that the spectator viewpoints in the game are actually pretty decent. The third person perspectives are a lot better and easier to watch than first person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a knock on CS:GO, but watching from a third person perspective and also zooming out, and you can see the kind of the map and and where everyone's moving, I think it does really, really good.
Yeah, I think the elements of the game are definitely worthy of fans going in to watch, because like you said, there are so many moments of intensity and competitiveness that you can, and it doesn't just unfold it's not a one shot kill and done. It's one of those intense moments where as a fan you can actually feel and be engaged in that moment itself, and you can see all these crazy moments, which that's what fans love. Just gun duels, you can see it. Playing Gears of War 1 and also the Ultimate Edition, even when I'm dueling and I'm watching on the screen, I'm engaged too. It just like you can feel the intensity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that is what creates that fan base, that excitement, that rush that people want to go and watch. Yeah, I will go and pay a ticket to go to my to go to the and see people battle out. I will go to the next tournament watch. I will go on YouTube and watch the streams. I will go on Twitch, and that's what drives your fan base. And they just need a good spectator mode or a mode where I'm able to where they can capture those moments and be able to engage fans and spectators to be able for them to actually live it. If they can get that mode and that view, I think they have a smash hit for sure in terms of getting their fan base out there to watch their stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, shotgun battles, holy crap, they're so fun to watch.
Crazy.
One of the best things in Gears 1.
Crazy. Seeing guys go wall bouncing and one-shot people, it's crazy.
Just heads blowing up. Man, it's nuts. But above all, I think another factor with Gears 4 and that they're trying to support is actually a spectator mode. This was a very big discussion point for the game. I haven't seen it. I don't recall it being available during the beta. But I'd like to know how they're actually going to try and give a presentable spectator mode to make this a lot more esport worthy. I mean, I think we've discussed this before. Spectator modes tend to be the weakest point for most shooters, especially since most of the time you're just watching from a first-person perspective. So it's gonna be interesting to see what these guys manage with this. I mean, I would like to see more not third person, isometric views, like bird's eye view, so you can see how teams converge on each other, how the flow of battle actually happens. I felt like watching games like CS:GO or even old school games like Halo, you couldn't get that same feel because one, it went really quick, and two, like you said before, you're just watching first person. But hopefully Microsoft manages to pull this one off with Gears 4.
Yeah, I feel like they have like this game. The Gears 4 has all the critical and crucial elements, that are. It's almost like they have all the Lego pieces. They just have to put it together. That's all they need. And that actually is probably that spectator mode is probably one of the more crucial parts of it. They have everything else. You just have to have a good spectator mode. Like you said, we haven't seen a shooter with a great one yet in order for them to be esports worthy yet. So hopefully they'll be the first.
So the better question is, how likely is this to succeed? You guys think out of 10 to be an esport?
Succeed.
Because I mean, judging from all these factors, at least for me personally, I think there's one. Microsoft is too big of an X factor. I have not seen them really, really support a game to that extent.
True.
Of the common esports we have right now, like CS:GO or League or any of those games. So too big of an X factor, and I mean, I love the spectator mode. I think that's the biggest plus not spectator mode, but in general watching Gears, I think that's the biggest plus going for it. It's really fun to watch. But skill, I'm still not completely, I'm not completely sold on how skillful this game is yet. I mean, okay, I grew up as like an old school type of esports gamer, in terms of, at least for FPS, I'm all for the Twitch. So I cannot see this game having the same skill level, but I think how great this game looks and how great it is to watch might push it a little over the edge. But I still think Microsoft is too big of an X factor. So I'm gonna say out of 10, this is probably like 6, maybe 5.5 to succeed and last.
So not even like too many years, like maybe 1, 2, 3 tops.
Yeah, I don't think this will last long. I mean, I don't even think I'll hear any big news out of this after this $1 million tournament.
Ninjago, what do you think?
All right, I'm going to tell it really quickly. Yes, I think this is going to succeed and the only thing that will screw it over is Microsoft. That's the only that's the only factor here that will screw it over. If they don't put enough resources to, like you said, to make that spectator mode, if they don't put the marketing down, it's all on Microsoft. The game is there. I feel like the skill, like ceiling and floor, like we mentioned before, I feel it's also there, where there is a difference between pros and amateurs, where they can have pro teams and stuff. The game is good. Everything is there. Microsoft is the only one to blame itself if it does not succeed esports. I think it's there for sure.
Dang.
Yeah, it's all on Microsoft.
Wow, as much as I want to agree with you, Ninjaga, I unfortunately have to agree with Last Hero. However, for different reasons. I think Gears of War is an awesome game. I am all for tactical shooters. This brought my competitive spirit back in. What I feel the issue is for games like Gears of War, or tactical shooters in general, is it is a type of game where you unfortunately do not appeal to your masses. Even though it fits the mastery curve, I'm actually going to go on a whim and say I think the mastery curve is a little higher than CS:GO, which is why you're not going to capture your mass audiences. They're not going to get the game at that level, or they're not going to be able to participate and play the game at that level to understand why the pros ultimately play the way they play. I think that's going to be its downfall. Not that it's any fault of Gears of War. I think this is just the timing of esports fans and esports players. I think it's just too soon. If Gears of War 4 came out maybe 10 years from now, it'd probably be a different result. But right now, I feel shooters are still evolving, and how we take to shooters is still evolving. So to me, Gears of War is not going to succeed in the long run. Again, I'll probably agree 2-3 years tops, only because I don't think gamers are up to the task at actually trying to get good at this game.
Oh,
That's my take on it.
Insulting the people that feed you.
Damn straight.
Take that,
Damn
CS:GO.
straight, gamers. You gotta up your game.
Take that, CS:GO. It's only
Gotta
popular
up
because
your
it's easy.
game.
It's only popular because it's easy to play.
That's exactly it. That's why CS:GO is popular.
That's why CS:GO.
Alright.
All right, everybody. Thanks for checking out this show. Checking out our review on, well, sort of review on Gears of War 4. Catch us on future episodes. Click subscribe and all that other fancy stuff. See you later, guys.
Deuces.